Hey, here is a bit of this is sort of like it's bad news in the sense of we want presidents being briefed on intelligence matters, but in a way it's almost like good news, and I'm going to explain why in a second. There's a new report that after the riots of January 6th, at which point Donald Trump had 2 weeks left as president, he never got another intelligence briefing after that. He just started rejecting the intelligence briefings. This is very, very interesting. The report from the Daily Beast is that after a holiday break where he didn't receive a classified intel briefing, Trump was supposed to get one on January 6th. That's the day he incited the riots, and it didn't happen. And then he didn't get one for the rest of his presidency, and he hasn't gotten one since. Remember, former presidents are entitled to get those briefings. There was this idea that maybe Joe Biden would block Trump from getting future briefings, but as far as we know, it has not been done. That unusual stretch where the sitting president didn't receive a regular classified briefing is recounted in the latest version of the book published and regularly revised by the CIA, which describes how spies update presidents on national security matters. The situation in the waning days of Trump's presidency was so uncommon, it actually caused concern among some administration officials that Trump was losing touch with reality as he was getting unhinged advice on domestic issues from Justice Department attorneys and outside counsel that openly advocated rejecting election results. One source said to the Daily Beast, there was no certainty that he was getting objective, unbiased info in any other way. You couldn't trust that anybody around him was able to get that information to him in that period of time. Unlike past presidents who would read their daily intelligence report and get briefed, Trump regularly refused to read the text, demanded killer pictures, and preferred to get updated in person by his daily briefer. It all came to a halt in late 2020. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday. Now, I want to be really upfront with you guys. The country may have been better off by Donald Trump not getting those briefings after that period of time. If he was getting the briefings at that point, when he was completely triggered, unhinged, off the rails, trying to steal back the election, who knows what he might have done with the information from the briefings? Who knows where he might have blabbed about information from the briefings? And this is so insane, but in a weird way, it's almost slightly reassuring that Trump wasn't being briefed at the time. Now, it's important to remember, as the article sort of mentions, he wasn't really getting much in the way of briefings to begin with for the majority of his presidency. He wasn't reading them. Former president, Obama, Bush, they would get a multi-page briefing, mostly text, and they would read it. And then they might have follow-up questions for an in-person briefing. Trump wasn't reading it. He had the briefing reduced to a single page. And that one page, by multiple reports, half the page was some kind of a picture, chart, or graph. And then there were like 2 to 3 bullet points. That's what it was being reduced to. And then he just wanted people to talk to him, sometimes with TVs on in the background. So he couldn't sit through them. But it's not obvious to me that it's bad. Listen, it's bad that you have a president who can't sit through and read something. It's bad that you have a president that doesn't care to be briefed. That's all bad. Given that it was Trump specifically, and given that even in the Oval Office, he spilled secrets from an ally to a Russian spy recruiter to, I guess, look alpha in his mind. Given Trump's emotional state in those last 2 weeks of the presidency, I'm almost reassured by the fact that he was not taking those daily briefings. Let me know your thoughts, but it is a very, very bizarre thing that hopefully will never happen again. But I fear, unfortunately, that it will.